from the letter of St. James. Beloved, where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, without uncertainty or insincerity. And the harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. What causes wars and what causes fightings among you? Is it not your passions that are at war in your members? You desire and do not have, so you kill. And you covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and wage war. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend it on your passions. The word of the Lord.
Hallelujah to the Lord. Hallelujah to the
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. At that time, Jesus and his disciples went on from the mountain and passed through Galilee. And he would not have anyone know it, for he was teaching his disciples, saying to them, "The Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. And when he is killed, after 3 days, he will rise." But they did not understand the saying, and they were afraid to ask him. And they came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you discussing on the way?" They were silent, for on the way they had discussed with one another who was the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12, and he said to them, "If anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all." And he took a child and put him in the midst of them. And taking him in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but he who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord.
God, from beginning to the end, there's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. I want to believe we know the song. We know the song. We are not acting African magic here. If God is God in your life, and all the plots of the enemies have been around you, yet he has been God in your life, sing to him, please. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. We can only see the physical, we don't see the spiritual. We don't know how many people have circled around us to want to kill us or want to do different things. But yet he has been God in our life. You are God all by yourself. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. Amen. Now we have solidified the place. We have reminded him you are God in our lives, and we don't argue that, because from January up till now you have sustained us. You have brought us far till this day. We don't know what will have happened, but you continue to be God in our lives, and that's what we are giving him the assurance that we've come to believe, and we trust and we affirm that you are God in our life. The first reading tells us that the ungodly men said, "Let us plot for him. Let us stay by the side to corner him, so that when he comes, we shall kill him." The book of wisdom today is more or less preparing us, or preparing our minds about the passion narrative of Jesus Christ, and that's what we are going to hear in the gospel. Jesus Christ continues what he was telling his disciples last week when Peter called him by the side and said, maybe you'll say, are you okay? How can you say all these beautiful things? We've seen you at Mount Tabor and now you are telling us you will die. Who are you going to leave us with if you go? And today Jesus Christ will continue that. The psalmist today is telling us that God is the upholder of our lives. And one who has seen God to be the upholder of his life or her life, in God you will find greatness. Amen. People see greatness in different ways. If I'm in the office, because I want to be great, I maneuver my way so that people can know who I am, so that I can get the greatness. Yesterday I was with somebody, just very funny, and he was saying that when people see him, they just say, oh boy, Alpha now. So that is why he's going to become a chief. So for him, the greatness he's going to get is when he becomes a chief, so that when people see him, they will shake him 3 times. They will not just see him and say, oh boy, Alpha now. Greatness for him is in that way, probably. God already has created us great because he is great. Do you believe that? God has created us great because he is great. And that is why we will say, you are great, yes you are, Holy One. Walked upon the seas, raised the dead. You reign in majesty, mighty Lord. Everything written about you is great. I want to underline one place. Everything written about you is great. We are the handwritings of God. That is why everything written about you is great. So we are great. So there is no need to be looking for additional greatness because we're already great. He has created us to be great. And when we are great, those who cannot recognize the greatness in themselves and even the greatness God has given to us are the ones who will start beginning to be jealous about what they see, because we tell them the truth, because our words are inconvincing. They are inconveniencing them. That's why they want to stay by the sides, to want to criticize us, to castigate us. They want to put you aside so that they can be at the spotlight. We are the great ones. And these are what causes divisions in the community. Like the second reading tells us today, that envy and all these things are what causes division. Kali Church of the Holy Spirit, a family in love. Are we a family in love? Are we sure? We are not creating divisions. We are not slandering people. We are not staying by the corner criticizing them. We are not staying by the side say, see this person, she don't wear this clothes today now. She won't show us say she don't buy new clothes. Or we are not seeing somebody who will come and say, now only this person, every time, everything you carry church for head. Divisions, envy, slander, jealousy is what causes separations, divisions. And that is why we have to hold strong to our family in love. But the beautiful thing is that Jesus Christ tells us in Matthew's Gospel chapter 10 verse 28 that we are not to fear the one who will kill the body and cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. So whatever anybody is saying, don't fear that person. You know who you are following, Jesus Christ. Who is the determinant of your life? Yes, like Mark's Gospel chapter 7 verse 21 is telling us that in the heart of man is where everything is brewing. Envy, licentiousness, jealousy. It's inside. It's not what maybe whatever that somebody tells you is what has been inside him. If somebody wants to plan to rob you now, he did not just get up in the morning and say, I will go to this house and rob. No, he has prepared it. And so, we are called today. Greatness is not in cutting somebody aside. Greatness is not in bringing division so that I can stand out. Greatness is to become lowly, just like a little child. That's what Jesus Christ told his disciples today. Anybody who wants to be great should be like this little child. He presents a child who doesn't have a place in the society. He presents a child who doesn't have a place in the society. They were at the lower pedestal of society. And that is why today many of them are still suffering. Many of them are still suffering. In our own case, where we are, you see young children of about 5-6 years being trafficked. It's terrible, it's sad. It's sad. And you look at them, and each time they go for court cases and they have to stand in front of their parents and speak against their parents, when they come back they are traumatized, because we see them to be in the lower circle. They don't have a place in society. It's real. Slavery has not ended. It's still real. It's very real. Very, very real. Jesus Christ brought that simple child in front of the disciples. You want to be great? You want to be great? Be like this little child. Because even on the way, when he's telling the disciples what is going to suffer, they're already discussing about who is going to be great. Imagine. He's discussing, telling them this is what is going to happen to me. Probably they'll say, when this guy go, I will be the one here. Or who is going to be the greatest among us? Is it Peter or is it John? No, it's me. He has not died yet, though. They are burying him before he dies. Human beings. We're already there. We are thinking about the greatness. God is the one who will bring us up, not we bringing ourselves up. And he says, if you want to be great, be like this little child. This little child in society who didn't have any place, or who doesn't have a place in society. We are the ones to give him or her a place in society. And that's why he says that we should be like them. We don't have a place probably in the eyes of man, but we have a place in his own eyes. And that is why he is the one to pick us from wherever we are. We are not to send ourselves there. Greatness is found in God, not in man. Greatness is found in God, not in man. Honestly, you can do what you want to find that greatness. You might find that position you want, but you will not be happy. So even if you are in the office and you are bribing your way through, imagine sometimes these days to get promotion, you have to bribe to get promotion. To go to school, you have to bribe your way to go to school. Even for a policeman to do his work, you have to give him something. Or anybody. Greatness is found in God. Allow God to be the one to raise you up. If you are here, and you feel and you are confident about yourself, you should know who you are. But to find greatness, sometimes you say, do you know who I am? There was one man who came once, and he wanted to use a particular place, and he was not given that place. Then he came to our place. Probably he wants me to talk to the people, and he says, Father, you see these people, they are not giving me that place because I have left them. They don't know that how can he, like, he determines the future of that place. I can destroy that place, in quote, because this government is in power. When this other government comes, we can do this because he's in the opposition side. I told him, you don't have power to do that. First, it's not your land. Second, they have the choice to do whatever they want, and I don't have any place to talk there. Sometimes we feel we are the determining factor in people's lives, and it's a lie. Sometimes people feel that they are the determining factors in your lives. Is a lie. God determines our lives, but he can only determine our life if we open our hearts to trust in him. If we open ourselves that he would come into our lives. And if we are here feeling that we are the determinants in people's lives, remember, the Lord hears the cry of the poor. Blessed be the Lord. Did you hear? The Lord hears the cry of the poor. Blessed be the Lord. The Lord hears their cry. So the moment you feel that you can suppress them, bring them down, by the time they cry to the Lord hears their cry. Positions, offices, greatness is found in God. Many of us have experienced God's greatness. Many of us have experienced God's goodness. I don't know if you can really think back and remember how far God has brought you, how he liberated you, how he saved you. When I think about his goodness, I shout hallelujah. When I remember his promises, I shout hallelujah. When you remember his promises, you shout hallelujah. By his promises, I shout hallelujah. When we remember how far the Lord has brought us, because nobody knew us. Some people will say, who is your father? What is your father's name? Because your father's name will open door. But your father's name has not opened that door for you. God has been the one who has been opening it, because he has promised and he will never fail. He has shown his greatness in your mind, in your life, not through man, but through him who is greater than every other thing. God has picked us up like that little child, and he's making us an example and a witness to other people that this is how I want you to be, because you have trusted in me. I have raised you up. I have lifted you so that everybody can see. Everybody can see. And nothing will ever happen to you. Amen. See what you've done for me. See how you've set me free. You are the living God. Oh, there's no one like you. Have you ever thought in that way? How God has brought you out. You don't know how it came, and you are just wondering. You just say, See how you set me free. You are the living God. Is there no one like you? And still at you are my keeper, my restorer, my life giver. You are the living God. Is there no one like you? No one can do me what you do. No one can love me like you do, God.